In this segment, we're going to take a look at the Array tool. And the Array tool is found over here on the left-hand toolbar right here. And if I click on the tool, you'll see that there's two options: create rectangular array and create circular array. So we can take a look at the create rectangular array first. But before I can really use the tool, I need to have something to be able to, it's basically a layout tool. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a simple star shape. And then I'm going to select that star shape, and now I'm going to come and click on the Create Rectangular Array. So it automatically shows me a layout, and then what you'll notice is up at the top I have my tool options, and so here I can control the number of horizontal copies of this star, the number of vertical copies of this star. So basically I've said give me 3 across, 4 down. I'm able to set the spacing between them. If I wanted to, I could make these a negative number and they would end up overlapping. And if I made this a negative number, they would overlap in that direction. So if I make these larger numbers, 20 millimeters apart, it'll put lots of space in between them. And so imagine you had some sort of a patch, a logo, and you wanted to duplicate that logo on your embroidery machine as many times as possible. So here we have 3 vertical spacing, 20. So what I'm saying is, if I needed to stitch out 9 of this square, I could use the Array tool to automatically duplicate, it's not a square, it's a star, to duplicate my star over and over again. And so that's really how this works. You've got your number of horizontal copies, your number of vertical copies, and you've got your spacing options. And when it says select another object or another shape, if I click on that, it lets go of everything. Of course, I don't have another shape to choose from, but if there was multiple shapes, I could choose a different one. And once I click on one, it applies that, sets that up. Now, to finish this, I need to do what's called apply to the array, and that basically finishes the function, and now I've created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stars. Now, maybe what I'll do is just use undo, and I'm going to do that again. I just wanted to point out, when you use the Array tool, we have this checkbox that's called Clone Objects if possible. And Clone Objects if possible will work as long as you have your Edit drop-down menu set for Add New Objects as Clones. Now, I haven't actually shown how to make clones yet, and I will cover cloning again, but we might as well just cover it now since it comes up under the Array options. And so, because I'm having create new objects as clones, if possible, then when I do this apply, we can safely assume that all of these stars are clones of each other. In other words, the benefit of having a clone is if we made a modification to one of these stars, so I'll select the star, and this time maybe I'll go ahead and change the number of rays from 6 to 5, and when I hit enter, it not only changes this star, it changes them all. So that's because they're clones of each other, and because they're clones, then they're going to maintain the same look as each other. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And now what I'm going to do, I think I'll just go Control A, delete, get rid of all those, make a new star, something like this. And this time we'll do the Array tool, but instead of the rectangular array, we'll try the circular array. So, okay, here we've got a new a layout, and you can see my array is basically laid out over top of these radius lines that we have here, and I can control, for example, the start angle and end angle of all of these stars. I can control the step angle and the step count. Now, let's just take a look at these so that we see what they look like. First of all, the step count's the number of stars. So if I decrease that number to, let's say, I don't know, 6, then it gives me 6 stars around that. And I still have the starting and ending angles are the same, but it balanced for me the step angle so that they evenly spaced around. For example, if I made this a smaller number, like let's say 10, then all of those stars actually just ended up placed very closely to each other, so the step angle is 10 degrees. Each star is 10 degrees apart from itself along my circle. So obviously that wasn't the right number, or maybe it is if I'm trying to create a shooting star design. So that's the idea. And now, of course, I can make as many stars as I want, so maybe we'll do 12 new stars or whatever. And again, we have that clone objects if possible, and a clockwise rotation option. So basically that says start here and go around the create new objects in a clockwise fashion. So yeah, that's a little bit about using the array tool, and I guess you have the ability to visually adjust this as well. So you'll find that if you wanted to create an array and then say, well, this is really what I had in mind, then that's one way of creating it. So apply to finish that sets it in place. So basically you can kind of do it mathematically like I showed, or you could just create it a little bit visually as well. So maybe I'll do that one more time. Control A, delete. Let's try a different shape this time. Why don't we just create a little sort of oval or something like that, and maybe we'll make it have no fill and just an outline of an oval. And then I'm going to choose circular array for this. And so what we can see here is that it's putting them around, kind of like a little bit of a flower effect. And so apply, and we get that shape of the flower over and over again. And because these are clones of each other, if I was to, let's say, choose to edit shape nodes on this ellipse, and I don't know, maybe we'll add a node, or let's see if we can just adjust this somehow, make it smaller or longer, then guess what? They all match that because they were clones. So yeah, that's the array tool, and basically it's a circular array, 12 count. If you want to change that to be 15, it'll make 15 of them around your circle. When you push apply, it puts it in place. So actually, what I did there, maybe I should show what I just did. I created a second array. Did you notice that? I didn't. So I'm going to hit undo. I had already created an array, and then what I did was I selected one of the objects from that array and started a second array. So I don't want to confuse everyone here. So basically, once you create an array, I don't believe you can go back and sort of redo that array. So if you didn't like it, then you're just going to use the undo tool to put it back to where it was, and then you're going to go back to your array options, and here's where you can decide if you want 15 or 10, or if you want to adjust this to be a different number and create some sort of a really funky pattern. So whatever it could be, 25 copies, and we'll have them each be 10 apart and maybe 15 apart. Like I said, you kind of just have to play with it until you create the look that you're looking for, and then when you're happy with it, you just simply push apply, and now it's all been modified and on my screen. So yeah, that's the array tool, both the circular array and the rectangular array.